Angeles, and I wanted to go live in something that orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Okay. Mm. Greetings. So I hope we're broadcasting now. This is Dr. T coming to you live from Los Angeles, where I just landed a few hours ago from Bali, from Southeast Asia. So I wanted to go live to speak to, one second. Yeah, I wanted to speak to what may become, I don't know, a series of videos on this topic, which is Bali versus Los Angeles. And the reason I am focusing on this topic is because Los Angeles is my home and Bali's someplace where I just spent the last 4 months. So I met fantastic people while I was in Bali. The Balinese culture is rich and sweet, just really lots of, humility, culture, family oriented. The entire culture is based on their religion and family, and very supportive. Being from the United States, being a Westerner, the US dollar is very strong. So, I mean, you could literally go to Bali and kind of, I don't want to say live like a king or queen, but you can definitely receive a lot more support than you can receive here in the US, just based on your ability to hire people to support you, like drivers and housekeepers, and the list goes on in terms of the support that you can literally afford with ease in a place like Bali. And the reason for that is because Bali is a third world country and their major industry is tourism. So there are Westerners from all over the world. I don't know the percentages, but I would say the larger majority probably from Australia, other parts of Asia, such as Japan and China, Korea, some from the United States and Europe. But I would say in general, a good majority are from Australia and other Southeast Asian countries, or Asian countries, maybe not Southeast Asian countries, because Southeast Asian countries tend to be more third world countries, whereas other Asian countries like Japan and China tend to be more focused on, technology and industry. So their dollar is stronger, or their currency is stronger. So, but back to Bali, very, very sweet. But it is a third world country. So while it is wonderful to be there as a Westerner, because, you're a tourist, and the Balinese are very much focused on supporting you in all the various ways that they think you might need support, whether that's transportation support or housekeeping, or whatever it is you need. Trust me, the Balinese are there ready to service you and support you for, a price. And I don't want to say even a hefty price. It's I had certain associates from Australia who, were advising me, oh, you want to bargain with the Balinese, because some of them may try and gouge you on certain occasions. But I don't know, and occasionally it got offensive. But for the most part, I felt like the US dollar is so strong. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time haggling with Balinese about prices, because for what I was getting, it was kind of like, this is like a few pennies on the dollar. Why would I spend time haggling with this person about this particular item when I know in the US it's going to cost me 3 or 4 times as much? That's pretty much what was my take on it. Other people feel differently about it. And various cultures are different. I had garnered, when I first arrived in Bali, and somebody please feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The US, our culture is very much based on, we have a tipping industry in the US, but not everybody feels the same way about it in various parts of the world. Some cultures don't feel a necessity to tip. And so when I first got to Bali, one of the first things I heard, and again, somebody please correct me in the comments if this information was incorrect, because I think it may have come from another American, but what they advised me or informed me of, well, the Australians don't tip. So I was at a, luxury retreat center in Bali, and this other American person encouraged me to tip the Balinese helping staff, because they said for the most part, Australians don't tip. It's not a part of their culture. And so I made sure to tip all of the staff at the time that I left, and for the most part in Bali, that was something that I did. And of course, even the tipping was kind of like, are you kidding me? I mean, for what we pay for services in the United States, it was nothing. So why would I haggle with an individual over something as minuscule as the prices that were being requested? So anyway, my reason for this post is the difference between Bali and Los Angeles. And, and there are numerous differences. So there's no way, that's why I said it's probably going to be a series of videos I will post on this. But one of the main things I want to touch on was the people. While I was in Bali, in addition to the Balinese people, who for the most part, it's a culture based on simplicity. It's a third world country. So it's very much based on religion and family. The entire culture centers around family and religion. So for the most part, that sort of segues into just people being very humble, um, not being very flashy or I won't say they're not focused on material possessions, but no, not and compared to the West, no, and no, in no way. Because tourism is their biggest industry, you do get a lot of people, kind of, I don't want to say haggling you or, but basically making requests of you because they feel like, okay, you're a Westerner, you can afford this thing, whatever this service I am offering, this tour or this driving service or this housing. Everybody's got housing villas and tour services and it just on in terms of different ways that they're catering to Westerners, and it gets a little irritating. I'm not because if you're when I went for a fasting retreat, so I'm trying to extract myself from all the stressors of living in Western society. So I don't want somebody like haggling me over, can you please buy this thing or can you please contract myself? It's like I don't want that stress right now. And so it can become a little bit irritating. I will admit that. But again, at the same time, like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time haggling with them over the prices, in as much as I wanted to extract myself from the tourism activity. And but the main difference and kind of the main reason for this post in terms of the people, in addition to the Balinese people, I mostly interacted. Of course, there are people from all over the world, people from Ukraine, not so much refugees, but people who have escaped from the devastation that has occurred in that country. People from Korea, people from Japan, people from the different African nations. Bali is a place very much where people go to either retreat, vacation. It is a great vacation location for, like I said, definitely Australians because it's very close, but many of the other Asian nations. And that's because of the the affordability of vacationing in Bali. Um, and so, in addition to the Balinese, there were also Westerners from these other countries that I interacted with and was associated with. And I've also always loved the Aussies, I'll be honest. Even when I was touring as a singer internationally and I encountered Aussies, they were always just great fun. So I was just very, very happy to be interacting with a lot of Australians while I was in Bali. And so the main difference between Bali and Los Angeles is the people, being just fun loving, carefree, not so much focused on what I can get from you, in as much as kind of accepting you for who you are. And yeah, if there's some financial transactions that can transpire, then I'm very, very happy. But there's less of that than you experience in a place like Los Angeles that is very much focused on, people come to LA because they're wanting to, I don't want to say prosper, they're wanting to grow, they're wanting to advance in life, in their careers, in life. So they're looking for opportunities and they're looking for connections, people who can help them make it to that next step or that next phase, who they can interact with, who can help them. So it's very much a kind of, and you can sense it if you're intuitive. It's like, what's in it for me? Very much a what's in it for me culture, which becomes a little disheartening over a period of years. And I can only say this because I'm a native of LA. So I was born here, I was raised here. I know what I'm talking about, trust me. And the majority of the people in LA are not from LA. That's the other piece of it. Most of the natives, we're kind of not like that because we grew up here and it's just home. But most people come to LA because they're trying to advance in life. They're trying to achieve something. They're trying to acquire something. They're trying to get to know people. They're trying to be in the know and stay in the know and interact with people who can help them advance in life. And there was a period in my life when I kind of went through that, where I was trying to advance my career, as an entertainment professional, as a recording artist. So I kind of went through that phase a little bit, and I didn't like it. I'm be honest. I didn't like it. I didn't like the person I had become, and I did not like most of the people around me. I'll be honest. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't a good feeling for me. So again, most of the people in L are that are actually from LA, born and raised in LA, are not really like that. It's mostly people that come into LA who are trying to achieve something, acquire something, advance themselves in life, that take on that particular attitude of what's in it for me, what can I get out of you, how can I use you. It's bad. It's really bad. It's bad. So, I will just say that the thing that I most appreciate, and granted, I've just landed back home. I love my city. LA is maybe I won't say it's the only place in the world, but one of the only places in the world where you can literally travel from the beach to the mountains to the desert all in the same day. I mean, it is magnificent in so many different ways. In terms of the weather, you're not going to beat the weather in any other place in California. You're not going to beat it in LA. You can pretty much do anything you want to do. There's so many various industries, so many different cultures and communities. Basically, if you could travel through LA, just kind of find your niche, the place where you most belong. And you can pretty much figure out where you fit in, any place in LA. It's a great city. The biggest drawback to LA, and I have one associate who says the biggest drawback as well as the biggest draw are the people. It's based on a lot of superficiality, just people wanting to advance in life, wanting to achieve things. And so the quality of relationships becomes secondary to whatever it takes in order for the individual to advance in their life, in their career, or whatever it is that they're trying to do. And over a period of time, if you're in Los Angeles, you feel that. You sense it. You feel that emptiness, that loneliness, that yearning and desire for quality and authentic relationships. And that, in addition to the cost of living here, I don't know that it's probably secondary to New York, San Francisco. I haven't checked recently. New York, San Francisco, Chicago, definitely cost of living. Los Angeles is up in, that upper echelon. So it's a constant hustle. People are constantly hustle just to keep their heads above the water, and so that also impacts the quality of relationships in this town. And so I'm just speaking to this because I've just landed back home and I'm very happy to be here, but and I'm determining how long I'll stay before I venture back out into my travels again. So I kind of wanted to talk about it because I was just thinking about the difference between Bali and Los Angeles. And that kind of sounds like an odd thing to even, two very odd places to even compare, because there are obvious, there are obvious differences, vast differences between these two places. But I wanted to speak to some of the experiences that I personally have experienced in my life. So I hope you're having a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. This, like I said, this may be a series of commentaries I'll offer on this subject, or subjects kind of similar or related to this. Okay, hope you're having a fantastic day or evening, wherever you're viewing this content from. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love. Dr. T checking out.